Hey guys, it's Alex. We are going to do some SQL training. Figure it's hard enough to get you guys while we're working hard during the day, so figured I'd take some time after work while I'm home and see if I can make some of these training videos that you guys can watch on your own time and hopefully expand your knowledge and your understanding of the system, and maybe that'll help you move up and find some new careers that are more interesting to you, or where you can do some more help. Without further ado, let's just figure out how to write a basic select statement. So select is, believe it or not, syntax that we are calling right now. So you can do update, you can do delete, and so forth. You can drop tables, which is basically just referencing a file that exists. Obviously, we can drop them from the system, but if you saved it to a temp file, we can drop those in case you needed to reuse it for something else. So anyways, we are just going to select to view a file. That's what the select command is asking for. And next, we need to tell the system what columns, if not all of them, do we want to view. And in which case, if we want to see all of them, it's an easy one. We can just do the asterisk sign, and it asks for everything in the file. If you didn't want to see everything in the file, luckily in our system, you can hit F4, which gives you this screen here. We haven't put in a file yet, so it doesn't know which columns to ask us for, but once we put a file in there, it'll ask us, or it'll show us specific columns in the select. So if we didn't want to select all of them, hit F4 here again. And these are the behind the scenes system name. And if you hit F11, just once, gives you our text description. So it'll help you a little bit better understand what column you're actually looking for. So if you're looking for the VIN or the sale type or the stock number or so forth, you can page down, go through these. And what's nice is you can select multiple from here. You just sequence them in order that you want them to display from left to right. So we can say we want to see the company number, the record key, the status, say the stock number, VIN, and the buyer. Just hit enter. It'll pull those, and it's a program that's lining it up for you. So it's a helpful tool. Hit enter again. It'll run this. So there you have the columns from left to right. Ignore everything from down here for right now. Company number we asked for, the record key, the status, the stock number, the VIN, and the buyer. If I had resequenced the buyer to 2 and the record key to 6, those would show switched. So it takes that literal sequencing and displays them like that. So you had maybe a name that has 30 or 60 odd characters that has it all the way out here, and it kicks this one out. Maybe you want to put it in front of it. Usually only think about that when I'm getting screenshots for data control or something like that. So let's go back. You can hit F9, bring up the last SQL that you ran, and if you hit it again, it'll keep sequencing up to the last one, the prior one that you had done. So another short key is Shift F3. I forget if it's F16 or something like that. Shift F3, and wherever you had placed your cursor, we'll kick that line down to the next one. I like to do this because you're displaying a lot of fields here, and it gets kind of confusing when it's all in a big paragraph like this. So I like to put my select and my columns on one line, my from file on another line, and I would start my where statement on another line as well. So that's just to make it kind of clean to look at. And when you hit F9, what's nice is it brings it down the same format. So if you didn't quite get the data that you were looking for, or it ran an error up here saying that it didn't recognize something, it's easy to come through and see, oh, did I miss a colon or a space or something here? If I put an extra comma right here, it's expecting me to put another column that I want to display up here. So if I hit enter, it's going to give me the unexpected, and I think this is exactly what it's looking at. So take that out, makes it easy to see where your problem is in the SQL. F12 is to go back, by the way. F9. And let's say I just wanted to see all of the columns. Just put an asterisk right there. Doesn't really matter from line down, just as long as if this top line or whichever line runs all the way to the end and then wraps around, because this is word wrap, it will consider this beginning part of the end. So if there's a space right here, you're fine. But if you are typing something and it word wraps, it'll connect it right here. So you can either literally put a space right there, or just, kick a line down to make some room or something, so you don't have to go all the way to the end. I like going down vertically instead of horizontally. It makes it easier to troubleshoot. So I'm going to look at all the columns, and my where statement, you're going to ask for or set a condition on a specific column from the file. And then you can use any number of different symbols, mathematical symbols, which we can go over later. And then you usually have to close the data that you're looking for in the single apostrophe. And there are some columns or data in the DMS that you don't have to do those, like, for example, a deal key. You can do it without this, it's fine, but it also works with it, so I just got in the habit of always using it. But dates definitely use it. And then you also have to reference the data per the format. So our dates are usually 4-digit year, 2-digit month, and 2-digit day. So you reference it like that, hit enter, it's displaying all the columns for me. And if we hit Shift F8, that will go right down the file, because we're displaying all of the columns, and there are a lot of columns in BOP-MAST. This is our deals master file. Shift F7 is to go back to the left. This little position to line box up here is mostly useful for going to the bottom or the top of the file, or the display that you've ran, whatever results you've got. You can also put in the line number and it'll go down like that, but it's not as easy. So you can put a B to go to the bottom of the file. And if I hit page down, this is the end. So you can go T all the way back up to the top. Page up, that's the top. F12 and F9. And that, I think, is a good start to a basic SQL statement. Again, we can always write this in one line. How about greater than or equal to 2019 January 1st? You can do that all in one line. Works the same. If you wanted to separate that for some reason, Shift F3, and that'll kick it down a line. And F6 will insert a line. If you wanted to do another join or something underneath that. And Shift F2 or Shift F14, I believe. Shift F2 will delete that line. And this is wherever your cursor is at. Keep that in mind so you're not trying to delete this line up here and your cursor is down here, you accidentally blow out a line. So that's a good start.